Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Locker Talk, episode 51. The show everything WWE, past, present, and future. I am your host, Koltyn, and back by my side is my co-host, the main event, Matt. We have come. Back. It is. It's great to have you back. Great to see you. Looking great. We're going to be doing, as it seems that about every other wrestling podcast is doing, our very own draft lottery. Should be a lot of fun, but first we want to go through a little bit of news. That big news that just broke a few days ago. Brock Lesnar will be he will be fighting. I'm used to saying wrestling. Fighting at UFC 200, the biggest event in UFC history. There's a lot of speculation going on. It's going to be Brock Lesnar against, I believe his name is Mark Hunt. He's basically like a jacked up Samoa Joe, from my understanding of the 12 pictures I've seen of the man. Apparently Brock Lesnar can only ever be booked to face Samoans. But yeah, I think this is interesting. Matt, what are all your thoughts on this? Do you see this as a good thing, a bad thing? Winners, losers, all your thoughts. Let's have it.
Well, it's scheduled to be around SummerSlam, and he's also slated to return for SummerSlam, I do believe, for WWE. With the massive contract he signed just a few months ago, he can't be turning down that kind of money. I think he just wants to get back and have a legitimate fight here and there. He does seem like a guy that kind of lets his frustrations out like that. I think this is Vince reaching out to Dana White, trying once again to get Ronda Rousey, actually. I think this is a ploy to get Ronda Rousey once again into a WWE ring and saying, hey, Brock Lesnar's my guy now. You can have him for a few fights. Like, let's see what goes down. Maybe get Ronda Rousey for next WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think this could be very beneficial to both companies. They obviously wouldn't allow it if it wasn't going to be hopefully mutually beneficial for Vince and for Dana White. I think that Vince has a little bit more to lose. I don't know if this is true, but I saw someone who had tweeted that the New York Gaming Commission, I believe, is the abiding entity or everything, has a law stating that if a competitor is knocked out in a fight, they're not allowed to compete in the state of New York for 90 days. So if Brock Lesnar gets knocked out at UFC 200, I guess from what I understand, he would not be allowed to wrestle at SummerSlam, which would put a big wrinkle into that plan. Once again, I don't know if that's true. I would hope that Vince would know that information beforehand before he allowed this to happen. I just think it's interesting that there seems to be a ton of different reports about why this is happening and how this is happening. Everything ranging from Brock Lesnar holding up Vince McMahon for more money before WrestleMania, and this is their compromise. And then, like you said, Vince trying to get some UFC people into the WWE and sort of forging a relationship. I've heard people say that there's some money been exchanged between the two companies. Other people have said that this is WWE paying back UFC for letting Rousey come into the ring for WrestleMania 31 for that atrocious segment with The Rock, Stephanie, and Triple H. A lot of different things, but I think it could be mutually beneficial. The reaction that I saw from people, from the UFC fans, is that they're really excited to have Brock Lesnar back. They should get a lot of crossover promotion, both WWE and the UFC. I think it'll just be interesting to see. It's obviously created a lot of buzz throughout the sports entertainment world and across the sports world. Matt, as he tries to deal with the life of dealing with two puppies at the same time. So if any crazy things happen on that side of the camera, we can just blame that. I'm sure it has to be close to the level of fighting Brock Lesnar in an octagon. I'm not sure if it's the same level, but I wouldn't really know. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different components to this. I had it mentioned to me by Farmer earlier that WWE didn't mention the fight at all last night. Didn't mention Lesnar at all. And so I feel like the one issue, other than the potential knockout stipulation, would be, I know that they're two completely different sports, but if Lesnar is coming off getting his ass handed to him at UFC, to me at least, it might not to everyone else, but to me at least, it kind of diminishes his reputation in the WWE. I know they're completely different. One is scripted, the other is not. But it would just be awkward how, Lesnar comes out SummerSlam and JBL's like, oh, well, yeah, he just had a fight at UFC. And they just kind of completely gloss over the fact that he got his ass kicked in a real fight. And how are we supposed to believe him in a predetermined one? But yeah, that's all I've got. Matt, do you have anything else to add on the Lesnar UFC Dana White Vince McMahon marriage?
No, other than the fact that Dana White and Vince McMahon are very smart business people. So there's going to be something in it for both men that maybe we don't see, but they both have their underhanded prerogatives, I guess you would say.
Very good point. Very good point. Yeah. Like I said, there's no way they'd be doing this unless they both planned on gaining from this, and I think they will. I think it'll be a win-win scenario for everyone, but we will see. Okay, so as Matt is dealing with his puppy issues, as I said, the main idea for the show, we're going to be doing our draft lottery question. Matthew,
I have a question. One more news source. The Undertaker has claimed to be done with wrestling.
Yes.
And that's a few sources here and there saying he is frustrated with Vince McMahon. I don't know if he wanted to talk about that or not, but no one seems to be talking about it.
Yeah, we definitely could. The sources that I read, which aren't really credible sources, so take this with a grain of salt. Vince apparently wanted Shane to go over at WrestleMania. Undertaker said no, and afterwards he had said that this was his last match ever. In the past, Undertaker has said after his WrestleMania matches that it was the last one. He said it before, so we know this definitely isn't a done, closed deal. But if the dead man is really upset, I'm sure there might be a way for Vince to sway him. There might not be. I'm sure if Vince is smart, he would kind of just let it sit for a while, not bring anything up. Don't try to get him to come back for anything before WrestleMania. But honestly, how many matches does the Taker have left in the tank? I don't know if I want that.
Also,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
well, he said that he doesn't want a send-off or a retirement match, so this would make sense. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't have a retirement match or send-off or no special goodbyes. He just wants to ride off into the sunset like a true veteran.
Yeah, very old school man, that Undertaker. But that at the same time, also at the same time, that old adage where you go out on your back. I feel like maybe there might be a little bit of pride there. He doesn't want to lose his last match, so that might be a little bit of a compromise to have that, which would suck because we all know that those goodbyes with like Daniel Bryan and Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, if they did it for the Undertaker, that would probably be the best one that they would ever do. But at the same time, it might be a little difficult to do with his staying in character. But yeah, with that, here, I've got a question that we can add a little bit of time to the show. What do you think about post-retirement Undertaker breaking kayfabe, doing podcasts with like Stone Cold Steve Austin? Do you think that's a good idea, a bad idea? Should he continue? Should he show up at Hall of Fames? Should he stay in character every time he does promotional stuff? What do you think on that one?
I personally think it would be a good idea to maybe do a send-off or a last match, like one last match, where afterwards he kind of leaves the coat and hat on the post to kind of have a meaning of, all right, the dead man is left in the ring. You know, like, this persona of me is left in the ring. It's never going to be brought up again. No one's going to resurrect it. the dead man is dead. Therefore, like, he can do the Stone Cold podcasts, breaking kayfabe, being Mark, just talking about the good old days, talking about matches, talking about Vince, talking about things that happened, all that kind of stuff. I think that would be a good meeting. Like, all right, the character is dead now. Like, he had his run. It's left in there.
Yeah, I'm really torn on this. Part of me just wants, like, they say kayfabe is completely dead, but the one part of kayfabe that's still alive is the character of The Undertaker. He's barely ever done an interview out of character, and when it was back in his American Badass time. But part of me just kind of wants to keep that dead, where I don't want to hear him say anything. I don't really want to see him out and about. I want that image of the dead man, The Undertaker, alive. But at the same time, this man has to have some of the greatest stories in wrestling history. And to hear his thoughts and opinions on everything would be so amazing and so cool. To hear him do interviews would be great. So I'm really torn. I don't know if I could choose which one of those I would... sounds like some fighting going on over there. We've got us a little Finn Balor Samoa Joe. Speaking of that, it will be NXT. It'll be NXT Takeover The End tomorrow night. So make sure you look forward to that reaction show. Considered doing a predict show, but honestly, I'm not 100% completely sold in this show. It's a little predictable, not a whole ton of star power. I promise no animals were harmed in the making of this video. Just pointing that out now, at least on my end. But yeah, with that said, unless you have any other fun news segments to announce.
Let's do the draft.
All right, so the draft. So we went to Twitter. We asked a question of who would you want to be your number one draft pick? And the answers are pretty unanimous. The first one, however, is a little less than unanimous. Comes from Jared, who's at KDP Buddha on Twitter. Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter. Always wanted to give us a nice little tweet for the show, and we appreciate that a lot. Said, right now, my number one pick is Kevin Owens. Dude is money. I agree. Next, we have Farmer, who is at Daily Matt Byrne, who has said simply Seth, in reference to Seth Rollins. And last but not least, we have Corey, who is at Corey1222, first time tweeter. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Who, like Farmer, has said Seth Rollins. And so, let's break down how this draft is going to work. Matt, why don't you explain it to everyone? How we're going to do it, who's all included, all that fun stuff.
All right, well, we are going to do a coin toss here to begin with, and whoever wins it will have the first pick throughout the draft. We are going to be starting off with our GMs. We're going to pick a GM each, and then we're going to move on to the announcer team, where we can do 2 to 3. Doesn't really matter which one you choose. 2 or 3 announcers, and then we're going to be drafting the people. The tag teams will stay together. I believe we discussed New Day stays together as well.
Yes, all tag teams except for the Wyatt family stick together.
Yes, that's the one we discussed. Wyatt family. Because the Wyatt family has 4 people, and to be honest with you, Eric Rowan and the big babyface man, his name is Braun Strowman, isn't even on my radar for this draft, so I don't really care about them at all. So,
spoiler,
all tag
they're
teams
not
will stay
getting
together.
Just.
And that is what is anyone under a WWE contract can be drafted. So having said that, if Koltyn wants to bring back Albert or A-Train or that Asian character he did for a while, he can.
Yeah, bring old Matt Bloom back. But yeah, so NXT is fair game as well. Thank God. I would have had a hard time otherwise.
Yes.
So we have our coin here. Good old GW. Heads, tails. It's not a trick coin. I will flip. Matt, you call it in the air. I assume you trust me not to lie and cheat here.
I do. I trust.
Okay, so call it.
Tails never fails.
Tails.
Yep.
It is heads.
Heads. Right.
Yes. Except I'm really, because I don't know what GM I want, and so now I have to pick one right away, and I'm not sure. Okay, so my first pick of the draft, my GM. Okay, also, we forgot to mention, I am picking for Raw. Matt is picking for SmackDown. I'm glad you wore blue. I'm glad I wore red. We probably didn't think that through, but good job. I'm going to put the logos right above us, just in case you forget, and because we need something to fancy up this show. So, my GM for Monday Night Raw, all the way from Blackpool, England, William Regal.
Oh, man.
And he's done a great job with NXT. I loved him as the GM of Raw way back when, from the times of yesteryear. So William Regal will be my GM.
That I actually had two possible GMs, and that was one of them. I will be going with the second pick in the draft, my GM, Paul Heyman. Because I am a Paul Heyman man, and I would like to see him on the microphone most of my shows.
That's a good pick. Very good pick. All right, so moving on to our announce team. This is where I'm really happy I got the number one pick, because my announce team, I've got to have this first pick. I wanted this to be my very first pick overall. My goodness, something is going on there.
I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to get some headphones.
They're having fun over there at the main event home. So, my first pick for my announce booth is the greatest announcer in wrestling today, Mr. Mauro Ranallo. There's nobody else to pick. He's the best. And that's it. Mauro Ranallo, number one, my boy.
I saw that coming a mile away.
I did call dibs on him before, so if you had picked him first, I would have made a stink. So I'm glad we didn't have to do that.
For my first announced person, I'm going to take, I guess the second best, I would say Corey Graves.
Damn it! Also, just a heads up for everyone, we should probably put a parental guidance on this. I can feel there might be a few choice words thrown out there if somebody doesn't get a pick that they want, just like that one. So, just a heads up if you're offended by anything of that, or if you're my mother. So, alright, Corey Graves, good pick. I'm saddened by that one. This next one is tough for me, but my next person on the announce team, a little bit off. I'm going with TP himself, Tom Phillips. Who would have thought Tom Phillips would be drafted this high in any draft whatsoever?
I'm surprised you didn't go with Renee Young.
I'm surprised as well.
For my second announced person, and this is the curveball that I was telling you about that would happen, I'm bringing him out of retirement of the announce team, and that is one Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Ooh, that's fun. That's an interesting pick. I like that. Graves and McMahon could be a good duo. All right, and so since this was my next pick anyways, and as you suggested, my third announcer is the ever beautiful, lovely Miss Renee Young, because she's fantastic. If you haven't seen all the old NXT shows where she did announcing, really good, and who would not rather look at that than Michael Cole and JBL every week? So, what do you got, Matt?
For my last pick, and I need an announcer that wrestlers can pick on, I'm going with Byron Saxton.
I feel like Byron is underrated. That's a good pick. I like Byron. All right, so we've gone through this. We have our announce team. We have our general manager. And now it's time to pick. And I kind of wish I was going second here, because I don't know if I have the heart to do this to myself. But oh man, this is tough.
It's going to be a Roman Empire, isn't it?
Obviously. My first pick in the draft is the man, Seth Rollins.
taking the superstar away. All right. My first pick in this draft is at no one's, I guess, first pick in any draft, and that is my reason behind picking this person. Before I say it, is I want to see the microphone battles between my GM Paul Heyman and my number one superstar Bray Wyatt.
Very good
I want
pick.
to see this happen.
All right, so I thought I had no chance in hell of getting this, but my second pick, Kevin Owens. I'm super excited about this. Kevin Owens.
I have to go down to my mid card to get him going. Oh, there he is. Okay. Rollins and Owens. That's a good duo.
Thank you.
All right, my second pick, my second wrestler, is one Shinsuke Nakamura.
Damn it!
Coming up all the way from NXT.
That one hurts. Dang it. I had him at like 4 or 5. This is really rough. I'm second guessing myself here again. My third pick is none other than the WWE World Tag Team Champions, The New Day.
Okay. I don't know where you're going to go with this next, so.
I don't know either. These top 10 are really hard to pick between.
My third pick. And this is solely for t-shirt sales so I can have some revenue, is John Cena.
Good
I need
choice.
someone to draw up some business.
All right, so pick number 4. You can't have Kevin Owens without this man, and so my fourth pick, Sami Zayn.
I was so close to drafting him.
I got half of my t-shirt, so that's what I'm happy about. I'll take it.
For the fourth pick, I think I'm gonna go with because I can't have a roster full of soft people, so I'm gonna go with Enzo and Big Cass.
All right. So, with Matt's pick of John Cena and t-shirt sales and looking at kids, I will also do the same thing. And for my fifth pick, I will pick the ever huggable Bailey, number 5.
Very nice.
I agree.
For my fifth pick, I'm going to go with, where is he? There he is. Going to go with the ever popular Rusev.
Ooh,
I'm picking
okay.
him so high because I believe he has a lot of potential in him.
I didn't have him this high, but I had him fairly high. It's a good pick. All right, so we're just gonna move right down my list. My number 6 pick, the Demon, Finn Balor.
Very solid. K for Colton. And then my 6th pick, I don't want to do that. I just don't. But if I don't. All right. For my 6th pick, since I have Shinsuke, I need to do this. I'm going to be picking Asuka.
Oh. It's a good one. That's a good pick.
Intergender tag team might be happening.
I don't know. Okay. This is tough. Once again, this is another matching pick. So for my number 7 pick, I'm going with the boss, Sasha Banks.
Okay. What Culture just uploaded a video?
WTF moments with King Ross. That's fun.
Alright, my next pick. And I don't know if I should take her this high. She is advancing in her wrestling capabilities. But what the heck, since I have Enzo and Cass, I will be going with Carmella.
Cinderella story right there. All right. I can deal with that. Part of me wants to just be a jerk and take some of the guys I know you want, but I will not do that. My next pick, the ever amazing last kicker, Becky Lynch.
The women are on a kick right now.
That they are.
They've been picked like the last 3 rounds.
I think so, yeah. Go women.
Alright. My next pick, just to get him off the board and safe, I'm going to go with Dean Ambrose. So I can get him home and safe.
You knew I was thinking. Okay, so my number, what is this, 9? Number 9 pick?
Yeah, that's pick.
Okay, so my number 9 pick. This is tough. My number 9 pick, I am going with Samoa Joe.
Alright. Well, as a defensive pick, to get him off the board again, I'm going with AJ Styles. Get some AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura rivalry going on.
To be fair, I didn't even write down AJ Styles because I knew you would take him and I knew you wanted him that bad. Alright, so for my number 10 pick, for pure theatrics of being the 10th pick, I am picking the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger.
I have to write him in because he wasn't even on here.
He's a 10. That's all you need to know.
Alright. I don't know if I should follow that with like a humorous pick like Mojo Rawley or...
No, mine was, I think Ty Dillinger is a top 10 guy.
Alright.
Don't waste your time on Mojo.
For my next pick, I'll be going with someone that could possibly winning the Royal Rumble, and that is Dolph Ziggler. And since I have McMahon on announce team, we'll be expecting Ziggler to be pronounced that way all the time.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, so this one's tough. My next pick will be Ready, Willing, and Gable, American Alpha.
Taking away my tag teams. Alright. I don't know if I want to dip into my part-timers or not. I need someone for Enzo and Cass to face. Alright, for my next pick, I will be going with the 11th pick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will be going with the ever-popular, and since I have John Cena, it's only fitting, the Roman Empire, Roman Reigns.
Good pick.
For the least watched main event ever, Reigns against Cena.
Nobody wants to pick Reigns, but strategically, he's a good business choice. I'll give you that one. Alright, so, speaking of business, that's not really a good segue at all. I don't know anything about this man's business, but I'm going with the gift known as the best in the world at what he does, Chris Jericho. He's sticking around a lot longer than we thought he would, and a lot longer than he should, but I'm going to take him anyways.
All right. Initiating the part-timers, I will do the same. Newly signed to a 3-year wrestling contract, one Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H.
I didn't even have him on my list. I didn't even think of him as a wrestler.
Yeah, I was surprised when he just signed the 3-year deal because he wants
Yeah.
to wrestle at all 3 main WrestleManias.
Of course he does. Of course he does. So, oh wait, hold on, check there. So, my next pick, if he hopefully gets back from injury soon, the man that gravity forgot, Neville.
Damn it.
Number
Damn.
13, yes.
Okay. For my next pick, I will be going with Dash and Dawson.
Oh, good pick. Good pick. Gotta scratch them off. Alright, so I can see that. So, for 14th pick, from the Queen City, Charlotte, women's champion.
She honestly wasn't even on my list.
Okay, I could have waited a little longer. That kind of makes me a little upset. Alright.
Oh, no, that's not Harlot, it's Charlotte.
Well, we don't know. We're not here to judge, but we don't know.
Alright, for my next pick, unorthodoxly high, I guess you'd say,
Rob Van Dam?
and that is Tyler Breeze.
Really makes me want to take Fandango just to spite you. Dang it. Alright, so, just because they're the highest left on my list, my next pick, the number 15 pick, the Vaude Villains, who, might add, have a quite manly shirt, and I mean that both figuratively and literally, on www.shop.com. Make sure you check it out. Also, this is a really hard word to spell.
Yes, it is. For my next pick, out of necessity, not because I necessarily want him, Fandango.
To be fair, I had him at number 49, so you had a bit before I got to Fandango.
I needed a tag team, and they're not officially a tag team.
That's fair. Alright, so, this is also out of pure necessity. My number... That sounded like something dying.
Oh, not you, to them.
No, I did. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. So, my number 16 pick from Long Island, New York, Zack Ryder. Woo, woo,
It's
woo.
on my list.
You know
It's
it.
on my list. Alright. My next pick, and I do not know, ladies and gentlemen, how he has fallen to 16. Cesaro, the Swiss Superman.
Did I not write this?
You forgot Cesaro altogether.
I'm done. I don't deserve to be a wrestling fan anymore.
I was wondering why no one was picking him.
I forgot. Oh, he's not on the list. He's like top 5. How is he not on the list?
What a steal in
That's
later
the
rounds.
steal of the show right there, folks. Well, I can't. I can't tell. I need to go to my second page. All right. Yeah, here we go. My next pick, my number 18, I believe, pick, the Viper, Randy Orton.
My very next pick.
Got him.
Okay. Who's next? Okay, so I have Asuka, Carmella. I need more women, obviously. So I will go with everyone seems to have given up on, but I still love, and that is Paige.
Good choice.
But I will not be drafting her boyfriend because I do not support that relationship.
Bingo. Number 19. This one's tough for me. I am going to hold on. Exactly. I am going with another tag team, a very hot tag team right now, and that is the tag team of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. The most beautiful eyes in wrestling today, Mr. Ciampa. I've never actually said that on the show, but I've tweeted it many times, so I'm sure it's time to get that one out.
Also very hard to spell.
Yes. Gargano.
Right.
Yeah.
For our next pick, don't want any of those people.
Getting down to the nitty gritty here.
I'm going to have to go with Mrs. Bondage herself, Natalia.
All right, fair enough. My next pick, I am picking just so that I can get off of this front page, and that is the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin.
Messing up my entire mid-card scene.
I know. That's the idea.
All right, so my next pick, I think I can do a little more with him than what WWE is doing, and that is Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews. Good choice. Okay, so now we are on to pick number 20, because apparently I don't know how to count. Pick number 20. Hold on, got to give you your rightful dues here. Pick number 20, I am going with Luke Harper.
Oh, you're picking every one of the ones that I'm about to do.
I do what I can.
Hey, no more of the wire chewing.
Don't die,
Okay.
please.
So my next pick, since I'm a true American, Jack Swagger.
Good choice. Do I even have Jack Swagger? I have to have him somewhere.
Too bad Angle hasn't signed just yet.
Yeah, sad day. All right, so number 21, one of my favorites, a very underrated wrestler and superstar. I am going with the love of my life, Peyton Royce. We're digging deep here, but I think it'll pay off in spades. Mark my words.
My next pick is going to have to be Sheamus. Good old Sheamus.
Good old Sheamus. Sure. All right, so pick number 22. Back from injury, I have to have at least one. Hideo Itami.
And he is, if he ever comes back.
We don't really know yet.
All right. For my next pick, the ultimate heel, The Miz.
Good choice. That was my highest person left on my list. I didn't really want him, though. Glad you got him. All right, so my next pick, my 23rd pick, is just based off of the show that this person can put on, or really the spectacle of the show, and that is The Big Show. See how I said show there? Yeah.
I thought you were actually going with No Way Jose.
I swear to God, if you take him before I do, we're gonna have issues.
All right. I don't know how he's fallen this low, He was the topic of our conversation earlier, and that is the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Fair shake, fair shake. All right. So, 24 pick, because I don't trust you. No way, Jose.
I didn't want him at all.
I do. That song is catchy as heck. It'll sell millions on iTunes. It'll be great.
For my next pick, and this is really because I believe in my roster, and that's Titus O'Neil.
All right. I didn't have Titus. All right, interesting. So, another pick that I don't really want, but I think that they'll help out anyways, and that is Us 1 and Us 2, the Usos.
Okay. And because I don't trust you, I'm going with Anderson and Gallows.
Good pick. I didn't even think about them, to be honest. Man, I'm slipping a little bit here. All right, so I feel that depending on how WWE would like to book, I feel I might be a little bit light on the heels in the women's division, and so I am going with Alexa Bliss.
Interesting. Interesting that you would go with that heel when my next pick, Emma, is still on the field.
Interesting. As long as it's not Dana Brooke, that's all I care about. Okay, so number 27. We're only going to 30, so we're down to our last few picks here. So, number 27, lucky number 27, if you'd like to think about it that way, I'm going with Kalisto.
Oh, breaking up the tag team.
Yes. Screw Sin Cara.
Alright. Kalisto's gone. What will I do without him?
Suffer forever.
Doesn't have an initial by though. Okay. Depends on. I guess I need a jobber.
Just remember, Brooklyn Brawler is no longer with the company.
How many women do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. That's enough women. Don't want to overcrowd that mark. Alright. My jobber is going to be Bo Dallas.
Believe. Alright, since you have... Alright, this one's dropped a little bit, probably ranked a little lower than he should be. Personally not a fan, but a lot of people are. I'm going with the greatest man on earth, Austin Aries.
Oh my god, I forgot about him. Alright. As the 28th pick.
Yes.
I need some reinforcers on the tag team division. So I'm going with the Dads 2.0, the Dudleys.
That might have been my next pick. Good job. Alright, so number 29, second to last pick. I am going with Curtis Axel.
Curtis Axel. And not Heathy Baby?
No, not Heathy Baby.
Alright, 29. Okay. Alright. Because my roster doesn't get hyped. It stays hyped. Mojo Rawley.
All right, interesting choice. All right, my last pick. This is tough. I'm torn between two of them here, for two different reasons. Oh goodness, my last pick, my number 30 pick, in praying that he recovers, Tyson Kidd.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, going down the line. I don't know if I should even take that guy.
You got the last one.
Extreme part-timer. I almost want to take him as like a Tebow effect. Shocker.
You can take Tebow if you want. I don't know if that'll work very well, but
Okay. For my last pick, I will be taking Kane.
that was the other one that was.
I thought about Shane O'Mac as a
Kane?
part-time wrestler.
Kane was the other one I was deliberating with, but he's getting a little old. So, do you have any left on your list who were not picked at all? Do you have who got left out?
The only people left on my list were Summer Rae and Naomi.
All right, I had four. I had Summer Rae, Eric Rowan, Goldust, and R-Truth. Sadly, the Golden Truth didn't make the cut. So, all right, we have 30 superstars, 3 announcers, 1 GM. It was a good draft. I had a lot of fun doing that. We used to do this all the time. We would draft literally anybody from every sport, genre, movie, thing ever, brackets, everything. Lots of fun. Glad we got to do this again. I'm excited about the draft. Interesting to see where it goes. So, who do you think had the best draft? Leave a comment below on YouTube. Send us a tweet on Twitter. Did Matt have the better one? Did I have the better one? I did, obviously. But yeah, let us know. Send a comment. Twitter at WWE Locker Talk on Twitter. All that fun stuff.
I'm actually excited because I broke my people down into main eventers, and I had, I had 6 main eventers, and I got 4 out of the 6.
That's pretty good.
The people that I really wanted, so.
I just started writing names down on a list, and I just thought I'd wing it, so it was fun. It was interesting, a little bit heartbroken I didn't get Enzo and Big Cass, but a wise man once said you can't always get what you want, so I'll recover from that hurt somehow.
You'll have to forgive us for letting Cesaro fall all the way to 17.
Yeah, that's not an okay thing to do. I'm honestly considering we just redo this whole video and not show our big mistake, but that would take too long, so we're definitely not going to do that. So, unless there's anything else, I think we can move on to announcements. Matt, do you have any fun announcements for us?
What announcements do I have? Let me check my agenda here. Well, as you said earlier, tomorrow, today's Tuesday, tomorrow is NXT TakeOver The End. Some fun matches there that are going to happen. There will be another Locker Talk show probably this weekend. I mean, obviously, there's going to be like the React show from TakeOver. And then there's going to be another Locker Talk. We're going to be discussing who should be the face of the company right now. If that is going to be Seth Rollins, the man who pushed himself to return, the Roman Empire, Roman Reigns, who has the title right now, or the self-proclaimed by myself, forgotten brother, Dean Ambrose, who is not currently in the title picture, but fingers crossed once he wins the briefcase, he'll be right there.
Yeah, should be a really, really fun show. We look forward to interacting with all of you on Twitter. So once again, make sure you tweet us at WWE Locker Talk. Follow us, all that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe, etc., etc. All that
I think those are the only
nonsensical.
two people want to win the briefcase.
Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose or Kevin Owens.
Yeah, that seems to be it. I'd be happy with either of those two. Honestly, I'm not really sure if you can go wrong with any of the picks, except for maybe Del Rio, but, whatever. So, all that.
Jericho's won it a few times, so.
Yeah, Jericho won it in Stupid Idiotsville, I believe, was where that took place.
The first one and the ninth one.
The sixth, yeah. So, with that said, it's been a lot of fun. Once again, tweet us, leave a comment to side with who you think had the best draft roster. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at WWE Lock Talk. Thanks to everyone for tweeting us, for tweeting to the show. We really appreciate that. And if that's it, I think we will close out the show with our hashtag of the week, which we are bringing back. So, Matt, what is our hashtag of the week?
Hashtag of the week is player.
Holla, holla.